This is Griffin Hall from RLA TV, coming to you again with another pinpoint of film in Memoriam, where you learn about the strange, the fun, and the dark. Please know that the content discussed in this video presentation is rated R, meaning that if you are not 18, these films should be off limits to you unless you have the consent of a parent or guardian. When you think of Valentine's Day related movies, you probably think of cheesy Hallmark specials or romantic comedies inspired by a Nicholas Sparks novel. However, especially during the year of our Lord, 1981, there were horror movies being manufactured faster than cars on a General Motors assembly line. Most of these movies were one offs, cheesier than a rat maze, and often related to the marketing of some kind of holiday, thanks to the success of Halloween. The capitalistic confection of affection was not left safe when audiences were graced with the brutal slasher film My Bloody Valentine. The movie, from the first few minutes, doesn't pull any punches. The film opens with all the things a slasher film is both loved and hated for: promiscuity and murder. This time, when a female minor is attacked by her male coworker after doing what we high schoolers shouldn't be doing with our free time. This opening sequence has the typical Stephen King take on the 1950s aesthetic that quickly takes a dark turn for the worst. From there to the present day, we are introduced to the Canadian mining town of Valentine Bluffs, a cheeky commentary of the holiday to set the tone for the film. Furthermore, we meet Mayor Hannigan, the man responsible for reinstating the Valentine's Day dance, which had previously been banned for 20 years due to the murder that we see in the beginning of the film, along with an accident in which two supervisors left 5 miners in a cave explosion to go to the dance. Ah, methane. During this show of exposition, we are introduced to the movie's villain, Harry Warden, the only survivor of the mine explosion who has gone insane. Warden becomes a killer coal miner, going down, 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 with over the top, brutal ways of offing his victims, most notably with his trusty pickaxe a la Friday the 13th Part 2. And he is mad because the Valentine's Day dance has been reinstated, thus sending him on a warpath with Mayor Hannigan and the Canadian town. His calling card? A heart and a box of chocolates. Yeah, that kind of heart. It's a generic hack and slash kind of film with various mining thematic murder scenes in a very dated setting, all wrapped up in a climax of poetic justice and a twist ending. It may not be much to remark, especially since this was basically a one off film, but it has become a cult classic ever since its release. Evidently, it had enough impact to receive a remake, My Bloody Valentine 3D, in 2009. Starring Jensen Ackles of Supernatural fame and equally having a dated, gritty, late 2000s horror sheen, we basically get the same story. With modernized time frames, we still get the mine collapse and the killer Harry Warden doing his minor 49er shtick. And though it is slightly altered from the original, this same twist ending is basically right there for people to see. It came out in the swarm of horror remakes at the time, including the Friday the 13th reboot that came out the same year, and the Nightmare on Elm Street remake that came out the following year. Other than small details and the gore factor, the movies are overall basically the same. You've seen one, you've seen them all. But these films are to this day still regarded in the same niche cult classic territory as contemporaries like The Burning, Sleepaway Camp, and Maniac Cop. Regardless of review or initial impact, these films cemented a genre that pervaded all throughout the 80s decade, and their overall impact is not without substance. And for those who might be feeling a little sour on Valentine's Day, this movie definitely appeals to the holiday in a dark and macabre sense. This has been another staple in the timeline of Film in Memoriam. Griffin Hall, signing off.